We want to be excellent athletically. We want to win championships. That starts with people. Facilities matter. Marketing kind of matters. But Herman Wells said that you build a great university by having great faculty. And the coaches are our faculty, and they're doing a great job. You're going to hear from 3 of them today, and I know Fish will introduce them, so I won't steal that thunder. I will mention that I think overall with our broad-based program, our 24 sports, we're doing very, very well. There's this thing called the Learfield Cup, and it's the recognized measurement of how well your overall program is doing. Right now, Indiana sits 17th in the Learfield Cup standings. We've never finished higher than 28th in the history of the school. We've never been higher than 28th, and we sit 17 now. And just to give you some perspective, a random comparison point would be that Purdue is 34th. So that gives you some sense of where we are. Finally, we want to be integrated with our university, take advantage of all the great resources that Indiana University has, and that's what we stay focused on, those 4 priorities, and I'm pleased to report that I think we're making progress in all 4. So, again, I wanted to be brief. I really appreciate being here. This is a favorite stop on the tour. Thanks so much, and go Hoosiers.
Again, what we've done since we've been here, and it's great to be down here. These tailgate things are awesome. You guys, again, special turnout, have had the good fortune of meeting some of you already, crossing paths with a function or 2, or coming by practice or basketball games. So great to be with you, and appreciate your passion, love for our school, but also love for our athletic department. No times are tough, economically and whatnot in so many ways, but your support. We're doing so many great things at our school. I think last year, we were 10th in the nation in total fund giving, right, for any institution. Number 1 as a public institution. And we got to keep making strides. And that's fundraising across the board. We got to keep making sure with the great facilities, with the Cook Hall renovation stadium, or Cook Hall facility, the stadium renovations. We got to keep the escalation going with that deal. We got baseball and softball projects coming, a lot of needs, and so many sports. College athletics is the nuclear war rate still. You know, we're still the Soviets and the Russians trying to build the biggest bombs every year. So, but we appreciate your generosity, your support, your passion. And if we need anything from you more than anything, my first thing, if you can give us, is just a great attitude. Some high expectations with no limitations, and a positive attitude. When we got here in December, we worked really hard with our current team, trying to get an attitude of how to win, and not necessarily talking about a scoreboard, but how to prepare. I actually heard Coach Crean earlier with the media guys talking about the process of preparation, the work that goes in, and how to prepare. And we've worked really hard on what we call win today. That doesn't necessarily mean the scoreboard, but the way you're leading your life, living your life, going to class, eating properly, sleeping properly, doing things to prepare to give yourself a chance to win. We're not going to win on Saturdays if we don't practice well. We're not going to practice well if we're not in condition and train well. And we're not going to train well if we don't take care of our temple, put some good fluids, and put the right amount of rest into our bodies and take care of ourselves. So we've worked hard with our team. I think our team's embraced our values very, very hard. But we have done a great job. We had a great spring. We had a great winter. Thought it went awesome there for us. We got, to me, 4 building blocks for our season. Winter is building block 1, where we get them up and we're running in the morning with 5:45 groups. Everybody talks about practices. We got 5:45 running. January, February, it's always open. 5:45 in the morning, the indoor. You guys come and watch some guys run. There's trash cans. Everybody needs to puke. It's a great thing. You guys come check it out. It's awesome. It's open. Come see us. 5 days a week we're rolling. We got those guys working hard and have done a great job there. Thought spring was positive. 15 practices, went physical every day, a lot of bone on bone, and we went every other day in the teaching mode. We would watch tape and lift weights. We would practice. Then we'd watch it and learn. We'd practice. It was an every other day, with Sunday being off. But all those days that we were allowed to go, which was 12 of the 15, we were in pads, trying to be physical, trying to get our defense up to speed, trying to get an offensive line to come off with an attitude, trying to get a running back to learn how to go that way behind his pads. Anthony Thompson knows that one, right? Get behind those pads and go north and south. And there's a way you practice that does that. So we're trying to teach some great practice habits. I feel very, very great about winter and spring. The 3rd block is right now, summer. And summer is when the players in our world, the players have to run the team. Our weight coaches are a part of workouts. We have organized workouts that start here June. May is kind of what we call discretionary time in my world, which means weight room's open, but it's not really organized. So we have these what we call discretion weeks, all NCAA mandated. But The summer, here's where our team takes over in leadership. And that's why if you really followed us, I was talking really hard and working hard with our seniors, our starters, trying to, I have a motto or a saying that says the best player gets held to the highest standard. The seniors get held to the highest standard. Your employee, the best employee, needs to be at the highest standard. And those guys that are at the highest standards, if you start cutting slack to those guys, it trickles down through the whole team. So we work really, really hard, to really get our seniors up to speed. Because right now, every team is run by the players. Us coaches, we kind of manage it. Players are running the team. They're running it up or they're running it down. And right now, the ball's in our players' hands for June and July. Our strength coaches will be out there working, but our players are going to run our team. We'll see where we go. That's building block 3. These workouts are called voluntary workouts. But I tell our team every year, teams voluntarily win and lose. As coaches, sometimes I voluntarily decide who plays. It's all voluntary. But no, seriously, the commitment, the thing we've tried to embrace with our team, to me, is that there's a difference between Oklahoma, where I was, and it was a great place and a great football school, but here, our guys love the process at Oklahoma. We're trying to teach our guys to love the process, how to have fun working hard. You guys are successful in your industry, you put in a lot of time. Everybody talks about coaches working hard. Everybody works. If you're successful, you're working hard. Some guys wake up on third base and didn't know they hit a triple. Some guys are blessed, but everybody works hard to be successful. A lot of you guys are extremely passionate, driven, goal-oriented. It's why you're successful in your careers, your marriages, your families. For us to be successful, we got to know that process and learn it. So we've educated. We'll see what our guys do, because building block 3 is on the players. Building block 4 is preseason.
We have a fun group of kids coming in here next year. I love the kids we have right now, but man, the young ladies that we have coming in next year are sensational. They're 6'6" and they can dunk. That's beside the point. They're just fun. They called. I got a call from my 6'6" kid yesterday. She's 6'6", 7'3" with. I tell you what, if anybody go to that zone, I'm personally coming out and punching her in the face. So I hope that it's okay. Compliance, lie. They always so sensitive. It can't happen anymore. Great. But she calls me last night. She said, "Coach, I got something. I got to confess." I'm like, "What, 6'6"? What is it? What is it? Dunker of the year. What is it? First team All-American." She said, "I can't do a push-up." I'm like, "Oh my hell!" So we have this guy named Tom Morris that have to do a miraculous job this summer to get this young lady getting strong enough to go out there with those big old Big Ten players. But she's going to be great. She's finalist in the state championship. All-American kind of a kid. The next young lady we have, her name is Jasmine McGee. She's a Hoosier. Anderson, Indiana, went to junior college, became the #1 player in the country for junior college. And we snatched that kid from Louisville, Kentucky, Purdue, you got a chance. Not away, Purdue. And so we got that young lady went to Virginia and got a great 5'11" combo guard, can be the point 2 or 3. We got a point guard from St. Louis who's a state championship finalist. And we have a young lady from Latvia, and she's about 6'3", great shooter. We really went out and created the foundation. And I think the only reason why it was able to happen, we've been the same crazy people and enthusiastic, love our life, understand our purpose. We ain't have no facilities, guys. I ain't trying to lie. The next thing you know, the Cook family shows up, gives us a donation, and creates that wonderful facility and allow those young ladies to come and envision themselves creating greatness. Those facilities have been unbelievable for our recruiting class, and we're so grateful for that. Today I was in the office, we were talking in our staff meeting, and I had a knock on the door. Gail Cook was showing her family around, and excuse me for a second. The first time she's been in Cook Hall since her husband passed, and she just said, "Can I just take a tour?" I'm like, "You own it." Yeah? The question is, can I take you on this tour? And we hung out for the last hour, and Coach Crean came in, and we took pictures, and she is the most humble lady you ever want to meet. So it is our obligation, like Coach said, we can't hope anymore. We have to do it. We have to commit to making a total sacrifice for greatness. I know you guys want it. God knows we want it too. For some reason, it hasn't appeared in our main sports. I think it's on its way.
Always a thrill to get up here, to hear our other coaches, to see the fire that they have in them. I mean, coaches are a funny bunch. especially basketball coaches. We're doing pretty well academically, but one of our guys is in a psychology class this year, and the instructor had given a quiz and a lecture earlier in the week on manic depressants, and he continued to talk in the class, and then he wanted to see how much people were paying attention. So at the end of the class, he gave him an oral quiz, and one of our players was sitting in the back room. And he said, what do you call a person that walks back and forth uncontrollably, all right, screaming at the top of their lungs, and at the drop of a hat can sit down and weep uncontrollably? And that person raised his hand. My basketball coach. So that's part of the reason we've got that APR score of 1,000 right now, because we've got some smart guys. We've got some really smart guys. And I'm proud of them. They're doing an excellent job in school. They're making progress in so many different areas. I tweeted this today. For those of you that get it, you already know it. But for those of you that don't, the school year just ended, obviously. And we are at a 3.0 with all the student athletes at Indiana University. And a ton of academic excellence. And it's top to bottom now. I mean, it really is. And everybody deserves credit, because it's really, if it's anything like our program, and I think most of it is, there's really a triangle effect to all this. You've got to have it from the top. And there's no question that, and it starts over in President McRobbie's office, and with the vice presidents and the deans and all the people that make Indiana what it is. The 180 different majors, the 330 different degrees, the 4,000 different classes you can take at Indiana, third largest alumni base. I mean, it's there for a reason. But it's not just there. It's also the administrative part of what Fred Glass does and what his team does. And I know they're standing in the back because that's kind of how they are. They don't want to step out and take any credit. I'm talking now about Mary Jo. I'm talking about everybody that's back there. Anthony, Scott, you name it. When you're a part of Indiana, you just want to see everybody do well. And we don't have a lot of people that are standing around looking for credit and looking to build their niche. They're trying to make Indiana better. And I think that's one of the reasons that the success of the sports is really moving. And you look at what's happening inside of there, and you look at the different sports teams, and you look at the way Kevin is changing things inside of the program. And I'm so biased watching what Felisha does, because I get to work next to her. And I mean next to her. And it's a thrill to see all that. Well, it all comes for a reason. Well, part of that top of the triangle is that administration. It's Fred. It's his team. It's the people that he puts in place. The other part of it is the coaches. There's no question about it that the success of your program starts with the chemistry of your staff. If you expect to have chemistry in your players, you better have it with your staff. Your staff better be able to get into that foxhole, work together, make things happen. And that's exactly what they're doing. Mine's back there working right now. We've got a camp on Sunday night. Somebody asked me if we're done recruiting for this year. We're never done recruiting. We're never done recruiting for any year, let alone this year. And our coaches are constantly working on that aspect of it. So you've got to have that part of it. Well, then you better have teammates. And teammates are a part of that squeezing effect. We've got incredible academic advisors. We've got a great administrative team. I love my coaches. But you don't have success unless players are pushing one another to that level. You don't have the opportunity to grow if your people aren't putting heat on one another. And right now, like when we are out recruiting, we're selling GPAs. We're selling APR scores. We're selling majors. But more than anything, we are selling the opportunity that going to Indiana University gives somebody. And when you're a part of Indiana University, especially when you join it in athletics, but when you go in there and you go through that school, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but when you go through that, you've got such an opportunity to make things happen for you.